Today's video covers purchasing properties at auction. Not for the faint-hearted, something you have to be careful about. What's prompted me to post this video is I've got a client I recently met. They're very likely to lose their 10% deposit due to reaching the 28-day time limit given to complete the auction purchase with their particular contract. They've come to me sort of 4 or 5 weeks later since the auction. First thing I'd advise, if you've never purchased at auction, make sure you build your knowledge on the pros and cons. I'm talking put in a good few weeks work, go online, look at the potential risks associated before stepping into the auction. It's very thrilling. Buying a property at auction can be great. It's fast paced. The potential for a bargain is what people go for, and the excitement of winning a bid can make auctions an attractive option for property buyers. So, you can get carried away in auctions, that's for sure. But while auctions offer opportunities, they also come with some significant risks. Especially if you're a first-time buyer, you really need to think about whether this is something you would want to consider. Some of the challenges, the biggest challenge is this time limit. Limited time for due diligence. Unlike traditional property purchases, auctions don't give you enough time to thoroughly inspect the property usually. I mean, you go in, you have a look at the property, you go and bid at the auction. Some issues like structural problems, legal complications to do with title, they only come to light after the purchase or after the bid has happened. It's always essential to review the legal pack carefully, and I would say it's essential to do this with the help of a solicitor. There's a lot of legal jargon, there's a lot of documentation in that legal pack. You need to get it looked at by a solicitor. If you do win a bid, you'll need to pay a non-refundable deposit in most cases, typically 10% of the purchase price on the day of the auction, so you've got to have your funds ready. Plus, you must complete the purchase within 28 days or you're either going to get hit with a penalty or you're going to lose your money altogether. So get your finances in place beforehand, it's crucial. The client I mentioned won the bid at the auction, and then they went for a standard mortgage. That is crazy in my eyes. This is a highly risky strategy due to the time a mortgage offer can take to come up. In their instance, Japanese knotweed came up in the survey in the garden, and this led to huge delays. Just getting somebody out for a report could take a week, and then the remedial works, it's just gonna push you past that deadline. There can also be plenty of hidden costs to catch you off guard. Some people selling properties at auction are doing so with pretty hardcore contracts. I mean, they were hit with 5k penalty straight away when they hit that 28-day timeline. So have a look through the contract, read through the contract, get the solicitor to read through the contract. Auction fees and legal costs can add up quickly. There's also post-auction costs you have to take into consideration. Obviously, usually with auction properties, there's renovations, repairs, insurance, all these significant costs after the purchase. So if you misjudge the value of the property, you're going to lose out. In this client's example, they bid to 177,000, and when the lender came to value the property, it came back at 160,000. When you're in an auction environment, it can be highly competitive, and you often see overbidding. So it's essential to set a strict budget and stick to it. Don't let your emotions get the better of you, and don't rely solely on the guide price, as it's often set low to attract bidders, and then the price goes way over. Sometimes complex legal issues can also arise. Some properties may have restrictive covenants or unclear titles, and planning permissions or restrictions might complicate your plans for the property. So a lot of due diligence needs to be done. Make sure you understand these legalities before bidding. If you don't understand, don't buy at auction, I would say. The speed of the auction process just adds to the pressure. Once the hammer falls, that's it, the clock is ticking. The sale is legally binding with no cooling off period. So you'll need to make quick decisions. So being fully prepared is key for this. Auction terms, I've seen some horrible contracts which come with auctions, and the conditions can be massively favorable to the seller and unfavorable to the purchaser. So sellers, they can include special conditions that require you to pay fees in all kinds of different circumstances. So and that's usually if you don't hit your timeline, because they know a lot of people don't hit their timeline. So, you know, take the contract, have a good look at it. Mortgage challenges come up if you just go for a straight mortgage. Not all lenders are comfortable with auction purchases due to the short completion time. I would never risk it. I would say potentially consider a bridging loan. If you are going to go for a mortgage, make sure you can meet the 28-day deadline and have some contingency in place if you don't. Alternatively, you know, bridging loans, 10 days, 15 days, if everything is in order, are possible, but obviously the costs are completely different, so you need to be getting a really good deal. You could getting properties that are occupied, let's say sitting tenants. This can also complicate your plans if you intend to live in or develop the property. Just be sure to check the tenancy agreement details carefully. Be prepared for challenges around tenants as well. And there are some scams as well. You got to be careful around potential scams. Misleading listings and fraudulent activity can occur in auctions. Always verify the property details independently. Go on the land registry, have a look, and be cautious of deals that seem too good to be true. You know, there's usually some issue somewhere. By understanding these risks and preparing in advance, you can navigate the auction process, but you really need to do your homework. I see people losing money at auctions, and it's a painful process because it's hard-earned cash. So even if you're a seasoned property buyer or a first-timer, just know what to expect at an auction. It may help you avoid costly mistakes and increase your chances of success, especially with solicitors and brokers. You know, partner up with those two individuals. And if you are considering purchasing, just spend plenty of time learning all the risks, visit a few auctions, read legal packs, build up your knowledge. If that's the route you want to go down, you need to have the knowledge. Get an experienced solicitor to work with you to assess the contract, assess the legal pack. Because once you've committed, there's no coming out of it. You will lose money if you're not prepared. So be very prepared.